please remember to add spaces and commas. Although Raoul has been very vocal about his dislike of XRP, he is now definitely talking about it. Yes, I agree with him that this is a very exciting time to be in the XRP army, because almost no one can deny what's going to happen next. During that time, that is some of the most rapid rise any cryptocurrency has ever seen. We're talking about a top 3 coin that doesn't have a direction, with USDT possibly going up 10 times this year. That has never been done before, but XRP is the most useful one. This can definitely do this because we broke out of this big weekly wedge, which Raoul just pointed out. To that end, we will be going through the banana zone today. Everything crazy that's going to happen in 2025 is because it's a new year and XRP has a new user interface. And this is all going to be amazing for all of you great people. That being said, it will also be great for some other coins. If you have any other assets besides XRP, you should watch this video all the way to the end because there may be some really interesting things there. That being said, get rid of that like button for good. Let's get into it. Oh my God, this liquidity tear is so bad and I've been sent this picture 1,000 times by people. Oh my God, what happens is all over. Is this the highest point? Is this the highest point? Is this the end? Should we leave now? What happens? Panic, panic, and nonsense. Okay, it was the same for us. When Trump was elected the last time, the dollar got strong. Rates went up and the amount of cash shrank. There was a huge rise in the market. How do I get Bitcoin? Then in January, because of the delay, what we saw turned into a sharp 27% drop in Bitcoin. Then it tore better and higher. In fact, it went up 23 times. But I'm not thinking about that right now because this has become a much further ahead cycle. Not always though. What we mean is that correction is just a starting place and not something to worry about. Section 1 of the banana area leads to section 2 of the banana sector. Each year the banana area goes through tax season. That sounds like April. Then there is generally a consolidation because people need to sell tokens to pay their taxes. There may also be a third part of the banana that is the rip into or stop part. Those things are all pushed along with the availability of cash. So we can see how long those banana zones last once they start to work. Bitcoin always acts this way, just like Doge does. We've now broken that part of the loop. So this is the start of the banana zone where we start to speed up the better going return to liquidity. Here's the worldwide M2. M2 does its job, as you can see. It also cuts. A wedge is my favorite shoe. There are some nice chart patterns in the world. It ends up having to destroy better than this combination. That's what's happened every time we've been given the banana quarter. When the US elections happen and other things like that, we have now made sure that the breakout has been fixed. Now M2 is only powered by the electricity of the dollar around the world. The dollar is now beginning to lose value. That's what we expect to happen. And then to start up the next part of the banana business again, once we start to bounce back better, it's clear that those changes to M2 have been small. The reason for this is that we need to roll all of this foreign cash. A lot of debt needs to be rolled over, and you need cash to do it. This is the big game. The game with the everything code that I told you about. So the whole code game could be going on at the same time. The early stages of the breakout are shown here. This is what you are as the 12 months of cash, which is why the 12 months ahead. And that's why the banana area works so well. We talked about going global and being pushed by the dollar. As a result, let us look at the dollar and also note that price is the opposite of money and availability. That being said, we're seeing that the dollar and rates have become less trendy. Then it changed into the energy we saw. This is what causes the change in global liquidity downwards. The most interesting thing now is the Citi Economic Surprises score. That shows whether the banking system is beating predictions or falling short of them. As we need to now have a length of underperforming estimate because it was caused by the dollar and charges getting stronger, clearly we know what will happen if the economy starts to fail to meet expectations, like when we saw jobless rates rise by 4.2%. When we start to see things like that happen, what has happened when people start to think prices need to go down even more? That is a very interesting fact. So right here in white is, are price cuts priced in? Are there only a few price cuts priced in? I don't know what the size is right here. Rate cuts may be priced in, but they may not be very big. One thing that holds it up though is the dollar and the long stop. As we weaken the financial boom, it is now being said, prices need to go down. After that, as you can see, the economy is starting to get better again, which is very important. I'll talk about that in a moment. That is, when you put it all together, they may all be the same part. when the Fed lowers interest rates, the DXY 10-year bond deals. It's kind of like how they all look alike. There are deals on 1, 0, and 12-month bonds that make it seem like the dollar has to roll over in price or roll over in price or roll over two more and more quickly. That leads to money problems. This is the financial conditions measure that costs money. The dollar and oil prices have been staying the same for a while now. And it's not a stretch to say that the ISM, which stands for the Business Cycle, the Institute of Supply Management Survey, it should be a lot better. That is, we have been given economic growth to come back. With the help of 9 months, it leads. In 9 months, the economy might be in a lot better shape than it is now. That's going to be important for you. We talked about prices, the dollar, and even the price of oil. All of these things affect the economy, which in turn affects cryptocurrency markets and the business cycle. So if what Raoul Pal is saying is true, 2025 is going to be one of the craziest years in Bitcoin history. There was what was called the first ever crypto election, and Donald Trump won in large part with the help of the crypto business. He is pushing through measures that will be good for more than just you that you know. U.S.-based cryptos, but cryptos from all over the world. And after the first year, many of them will have to set up shop in the US, I'm sure of it. And cryptocurrencies like HBAR and XRB that are currently in the US may have a lot to gain since they will be a part of the world's largest economy. They will have a clear set of rules to follow, and they will definitely get the contracts that make them the clear winner in the space. In other words, everything is falling into place. In addition to the financial side of things, oil bonds also lead to GDP growth in the United States, which shows the power of the dollar. All of the pieces are perfectly in place. And why do you look at the last run that Trump had in 2017? Now, it's very clear that if you live in a good place in 2025 and keep putting your money into projects like XRP, HBAR, and XLM, you will really kill it. Guys, I don't want any of you to miss this chance. During the last 3 bull runs, I've worked in the crypto business. From my point of view, this one is different from another. And even more than 2021, I'm most excited about 2025. And if you were around return at that time, it turned into a crazy time so that everyone can fully gain from what's going on here. Guys, I need you all to do one thing for me right now. Join BTCC. You can get a 10% deposit bonus on your first deposit if you use my link below.